The original intention of this channel and my work was to be a human laboratory for those going through the awakening process. A human laboratory for you to relate to, for you to learn from my experiences, and for you to go through this with me. You know, I started making these videos when I was still doing a lot of healing, which I am now to this day. And a lot of my videos are really, I love making my videos when I'm in my light and feeling my essence more than ever, feeling connected to source more than ever. Those are really gratifying to make, of course. But I also feel like it's very important to stay true to my channel's authenticity, my channel's authentic intention, which was to bring you guys through the darkness and the light. These last couple days have been very heavy for me. I've been feeling a lot of repressed emotions and trauma really coming up to the surface. And I just want to share this with you guys about how I handle this, how I process this. And a lot of times I also want you to know that right after huge breakthroughs and openings and moments of just peace and serenity and joy and feeling so much love, right after these moments, after these periods of states of being, we go back into the shadow and we go back into doing more of the work. And for me, this has meant today dealing with lots of anger. I woke up just really unwilling to even want to move. Like I just was feeling this density on me, you know, just like what's going on here. And you know, I put my hands on my heart. I tried to see if I could open my heart, and it was just closed. You know, there was just so much there to feel through. And it got to a point to where I felt even rage, even this intense boiling rage, and I was just like very interested by this. I was like, wow, what is this anger? And that's a big part of healing. As we go through the layers, as we go through deep releases, as we stay on the path for years, we start to become more of a witness and an observer to the emotions, to the intense feelings of negativity. We no longer identify with them. We don't say that that's me. You know, this anger that's coming through me, this strong anger. I don't say that, you know, this is who I am. I say that this is an older aspect of me that is coming up to be honored, that is coming up to have the light of awareness shined on it so that it can integrate. And it's a lot of the times when we've had huge openings, now we have more space to let up some of that repressed unconsciousness, some of that repressed anger. And I know for me, I had a lot of this. I was so timid as a child, especially when it came to showing my anger, speaking my truth, standing in my integrity. I would always convalesce and cave to fit in, to feel socially approved, to not rock the boat. You know, I always conformed my opinions to others so that I could be part of, you know, part of whatever it is I thought I needed to be a part of it. And that's a common thing as children is we feel this anger, but also when we feel this anger, we're not allowed to express it. We're not allowed to, we're discouraged from feeling it because it can get us in a lot of trouble. So I know that there's so much anger in me that's come up already, but now in deeper layers coming up. And for me, what's really helped is I scream into a pillow as loud as I can, and it's just this deep scream, just, you know, you just let it out. You just express it, consciously express it into a pillow. My poor cat was laying next to me one time when I did it. He's like, what the hell is going on? I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was going to be that loud. But this anger it's great. It's really imperative to realize that this anger is our power. And for so long, we have repressed and suppressed our power because we were afraid of showing our full selves, being our full authentic self. So these aspects of us, that, they get angry, they're not heard. They have to go, they have to go right back down, and they just fester in the being, they fester in the body, in the cells. They keep the heart closed. They keep the throat chakra closed. They keep literally our energetic center closed. They keep energy from flowing. And so when this anger comes up, when you're feeling this anger for no reason, for me today, absolutely no reason did I have for externally to be feeling anger. It was just this anger coming up, and it wants to move, it wants to be expressed, it wants to be acknowledged. Because there's all this space now for it to come up, to be seen and felt, and ultimately integrated just by shining your awareness on it without resisting it. It's helpful to know that these negative, what we perceive as negative emotions, all have an opposite positive polarity. So that way we don't resist them. So when anger's coming up like it is for me today, I realize this is my power. This is my power. If I transform and transmute this anger by allowing it up, then it's going to turn into my power to serve Source, to serve the One, to serve love and joy and peace. If I let this anger up, I'm going to be more empowered to stand in my truth. And that's really key. If you have lots of anger coming up, know that this is such an opportunity for you to embrace all that you are, for you to embrace your truth, and for you to open to aspects of yourself that you have suppressed out of fear of disapproval, criticism. Even as a child, it could be fear of survival. We need to go along to get along. We need to suppress a lot of our opinions, and when we notice incongruencies in adults, if we say them, a lot of times that can be really, literally harmful to our well-being and our survival. So a lot of this comes from, as a child, our survival depended on repressing these emotions. But now we have the awareness to know that it's safe to let these up. It's safe to be who we really are. And the reason we know that is we try it. We step into our truth and we see that nothing happens. Nothing that we think happens. Because it's all a reflection. If you feel safe in here being who you really are, then safety is going to be reflected back to you. If you feel fear, insecurity, doubt, not good enough, feelings of unworthiness, which I still struggle with big time, then sometimes we're going to get that reflection back to us. So the journey of creating a more harmonious and enjoyable life, external reality, is alchemizing these darker emotions like anger and fear and sadness and grief. I just wanted to share my process with you guys. It's not always fun to let the darkness up, but it's always so enriching for the soul. It's always so rewarding because you feel lighter, you feel more powerful, you feel more excited, you feel more joy. We're emptying our vessel so that Source can radiate through, so that the truth of who we are can be expressed, because that is our ultimate value. There is quite literally no one else on the planet like you. That is your value. You are one of a kind. And the anger comes from you distorting that uniqueness, from you trying to hide that uniqueness out of fear of condemnation. But when you let the anger up, when you let yourself consciously feel it and consciously express it through screaming into a pillow or maybe in a car, through just letting it out, you start to feel that power. And when you start to feel that power in your being, you start to know your value. I hope that this video helps you guys. I like making these videos, just sharing exactly where I'm at, how I go through this. I enjoy connecting with you guys. I hope that you guys have a wonderful and healing day. Namaste.